Oh, this is exciting, isn't it? Look, the page is filling up
Wow.
It
with
is.
with lovely Launchpad members. I can see one or two faces that I think I saw yesterday. I can see Wendy there. I think you were here yesterday, weren't you, Wendy? Give me a thumbs up if you were here yesterday. Yeah, there you are. Yeah. Good. You're very keen. Yeah, good. Okay. Well, look, it's a couple of minutes before the top of the hour, so there's going to be a little bit of waffle and preamble before we actually sort of kick things off. We need to wait for everybody to show up. There's usually a few late comers, but we'll get rolling on the hour. Yeah, thank you very much for being here. For those of you folks that are on screen without your cameras turned on, if you happen to be on a computer, a laptop, or a desktop, and you take your cursor down to the bottom left-hand corner of your Zoom window, you'll see a little button down there, Start Video, okay? And you're very welcome to turn your cameras on. It makes it all a bit more interactive, and we will appreciate that if you're able to. Thank you. It's not obligatory, it's not compulsory, but it is legal. Yeah, we're recording this call for your review and for those that can't be here with us this evening. And what would you like to say, Mitch? Would you like to talk to our gathered throng this Yuletide?
I'm happy I'm a bit better today than I was yesterday. So that everything should work properly. Sorry to anybody who lost the recordings in the middle of today, but they're all back. I had a technical hitch. And the recordings of these will get up during tomorrow sometime, so you can go and look at them there. So it's okay. It's 7 o'clock now, so we're going to wait 1 minute, and then John's going to do his intro, and then Mike, and then me, and we've got a special guest today that we've imported from sunny climate for the people in the north.
Yeah, good. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about myself if you're interested. If you're interested, I think it is quite an interesting story because it was only back in 2020 I was still making wooden furniture. Okay, and in a little workshop behind my house in Italy, I lived on what was once upon a time a farm in the Le Marche countryside, and it was a very agricultural economy in Le Marche. It's on the east coast, about halfway down, and the local village. Who's that making a noise? Yeah. Oh, there. Look, it's Guitarka. There we go. Can you make Mike the co-host, Mitch, so that he can kind of mute people and let people in and all that sort of stuff, please?
I can zap you and make it noise.
Yeah, you can kick them out, can't you? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I was actually making pieces of furniture, and I ran away from home when I was 17. I dropped out of the school system. I'm not a particularly educated kind of individual, and I think this is one of the few career changes that you can make without any. Can we throw that person out, please, Mitch?
I'm trying to find it.
It's Guitarka, Emma.
No, that one's got volume turned off, so that's fine. Carry on, John. You'll get used to it.
Yeah. It's disturbing my flow. Yeah, I think the point is
this is going to be a short intro. You're 17 years old at the moment. This call was only like 1 hour. I just wanted to remind you that.
Oh, okay, all right. We'll fast forward. I think that this is one of those career changes that you can make without necessarily any particular academic qualifications or life experience or job experience, really, because I came to this after having done a number of. I used to work in a casino in London. I've bummed around the world a bit with a backpack. I was making furniture, which I sort of fell into in Italy because that's what my dad did. And I just, I learned the trade from him. And then all of a sudden in 2020, when lockdown happened, my business was taken away from me. There was just no more business. And I was kind of panicking, really. It was a very anxious moment. There was no money coming in, for goodness sake. I had to do something. And obviously these days, you know, the answer has to be online. Everything's moving online. And so within 5 months of starting the education that you guys have stepped into, this LaunchPad education, the modules and the lessons, the 60 lessons, within 5 months, I had a little automated affiliate business online that was making sales. And I started off with this. Can you, Mitch, can you exclude that person, please? Because they keep doing it. It's done. It's done. It's done. They're in the waiting room, right? It's Emmanuel. Please don't let him back in. I've lost again. Go on, Mike. You go. You talk.
Yeah, you were at you didn't get past 17.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did. All right.
I did.
I got bored at that point. Sorry. No. Yeah. So I think what your main train of thought here is that you don't need to be highly educated or highly skilled to whatever your career path is to embrace an online journey and succeed. You don't need to be highly educated. I'm not. I haven't got a degree or a qualification to rub together. But I had 30 years in sales, and people say, "Oh yeah, but you're a natural born salesman, then, Mike." So taking sales skills and applying them to online, that's just a natural flow. That actually worked against me for the first 3 months coming here because I thought online selling was online selling. It's not. Online sales is creating an offer that everybody wants, getting it in front of people that are most likely to want that offer, that product, that service, and they chase you. You don't chase them. It's the opposite to sales. And that took me a good 3 months for that to click and for me to learn that lesson. After that, things started to things started to work for me after I stopped being a salesman and started to be a marketer. But no, I totally agree with that sentiment. And the other observation is, if you look around, certainly if you look on the leaderboard, you look in the training and you look on the group calls, most people here, not everybody, but most people here are, be very polite, mature students. Yeah, where it's not full of teenagers with gaming apps and it's mature students, people who have reached a point in their life where they think, I've been going down the wrong path. Something's got to change sooner or later before it's too late. And these are the types of people at this age or this point in life that are more likely to succeed than the young whippersnappers who can code, who can write an app, who are brilliant at gaming and can find their way around a computer blindfolded, unlike us. So that was another big lesson for me here, is that the maturer student, me included, more likely to succeed because we've got something to offer the world. Simple as that. Mitch, before I waffle on any longer and before John goes back to being 17, over to you.
So I some of you know, and hello everybody, good evening. I'd had enough of the work in London. I was traveling all the time, working on weekends, and it just got on top of me. So Vicky and I moved out here to the Alentejo in Portugal. We set up the bed and breakfast, and I thought everything was going to be great. And then along came 2020, and that was the big issue for us because we still had money to pay. Nobody was allowed to stay. There wasn't any money coming in. And that's when I saw this young man, Mike Jake's video on YouTube. And I decided to jump on and learn this training. And I think what he's saying is exactly right. He's so much more diplomatic than me. I think that's because he's English. We're all oldish, if that's a better way to put it. Most of us here are over 45, over 50, and I think that's become a secret weapon. You've got experience, and all you have to do is learn how to take that experience and use it online. And that's what I see working with everybody. You know, people who are building things as affiliates, but also the people who doing things that aren't affiliate sites. Like I run a site teaching people how to market their guest houses, and other people are running sites around their hobbies. And that's the whole avenue that I find very interesting. So there's so much more to do. And I think I'm going to cross back to Mike, who's introducing us to our guest for this evening,
Yeah.
who is a young man looking at him, a young man called Stathis.
So let me introduce you to, so yeah, just want to pull out one example. We had a really interesting guest the other night. This guest is going to be even better, but we had a really interesting guest the other night called another guy called Mike, and he'd taken his passion of choir singing, if you weren't here the other night, and he's created a very lucrative subscription business creating choirs around the UK at the moment. He hasn't gone global yet, or he hasn't even gone European yet. So, you know, he's ignored every bit of advice here, but he's taken the skills and the knowledge and the online marketing skill, and he's applied it to his passion, his hobby, which he was always told, you're never going to make any money pursuing music. He has, because he's put it online. Brilliant. Anyway, so, but tonight's guest is going to be, I think, even more inspirational. He's another one of my students. You're not all my students here tonight, by the way, but he is another one of my students. Been with us, I'm guessing 2 years-ish. 2 years, there you go. And I like this chap because he's from one of my favorite parts of the world, which is Greece, but I think he's currently in Italy visiting the in-laws for Christmas. And we just thought we want to bring out somebody a little less mature in the community. And really just to hear about his experience from starting, as we all did, starting with the sort of teaser, the tester training, getting hooked by marketing, online marketing, and then what he did thereafter to start to make success online, and yeah, just really hear his story. So without further ado, Stathis, can you come off of mute and introduce yourself?
Here I am. Hello to everyone. I want to first say that's an honor for me being here with the three of you. So I've been following you and you've been really inspirational, and I've learned a lot from all of you. And briefly, my story is that, yeah, 2 years ago, I was lucky enough to run into one of your ads. And at that time, I was working as an export manager in the food industry, exporting cookies. And without wanting to be too dramatic, but I was completely erect. Like I was broke. Like my father had just lost his business, and we lost our house. I was working like 70 hours a day, 6 days per week, and I had no time to see my friends. It was the worst period I could. I think I could think about business, but actually it proved to be the best one, because probably when you want to solve your problems, when you need to solve your problems, that's probably when you're most likely to do so. And I started with being an affiliate for LaunchPad, learning for LaunchU, and then I also created a second brand based on my previous experience as an expert manager. So I'm just managing other business and getting clients through online marketing through this. And now also I started building another brand around my passion for hiking. So the beginning, yeah, I also have had the LaunchPad pack, and that helped me build all these businesses. And at some point, I think I reflected on two things. You know, one is I said I realized that online marketing was the right thing to do, and I wanted, and it was already a gateway for me from my job that was devastating me, basically. And I understood that was what I wanted to do. And so I wanted to get from basically A to B, which A was my previous condition, and B was being a successful online marketer. Why? Because I wanted, of course, more money, as always, as everyone here, but I wanted a better quality of life. So I wanted to go from A to B, and I reflected on two things. One was time, so how fast I want to do that. And LaunchPad had given me everything actually I needed to build my businesses, and I was already having sales with that business, but I wanted to develop this business. So I thought, do I want to do like at my own pace, like very slowly and falling and learning slowly, or do I want to do it the quicker I can? So the one thing was time, and the other one was personal development, I think, because what we learn here, I think it's we upskill, we learn new skills that serve us for our whole life and in different aspects of our life, and we can start very different businesses. So we're talking about upskilling, and I thought, okay, I want to learn these skills and become as good as I can in this. So do I want it to do it slowly, or do I want to work with the best and learn from them and work with them? And that's when I decided I would also join the Accelerate program, and I became an Accelerate member. I actually had no money to do so. I got a loan. I was a little bit scared, to be honest. Fortunately, my wife was very supportive on that, so we got that loan, and it was, of course, the best choice we could do. It paid multiple times that investment. And but what I would like to share with others is like what made the difference is when you start thinking like a marketer, when you become when you recognize and you understand that these are skills that are transferable and that you can use them everywhere. So you basically, I thought I would like to become the best on this. So I would do anything to get as good as I can on this. And so when you consider yourself a marketer, you find the ways to promote the products or services you want, you like to promote.
What would you say the best thing in Accelerate? Well, obviously, Accelerate helped you accelerate your journey to get sales, to get bigger sales, to start growing your business. But is there anything that was in Accelerate or any of the other packages around that you really thought, that's it? This is gold dust. This is going to change my trajectory.
Before, you mean joining, or
no? I mean,
like during.
You joined, you said that you were on the sort of LaunchPad level, which is sort of build it yourself, learn, look, learn, do, go back and repeat and work your way through the building your online platform, building your online business. But you decided to accelerate. I know Accelerate's normally bundled in lots of different packages, but I'm just interested in that because it was Accelerate that really turned my online training experience around very, very quickly. And I'm just wondering whether it was similar for you.
Yeah, I got it.
Anything in Accelerate where you just thought this?
I know what you mean.
Well,
I think it's the coaching, because with my LaunchPad membership, I had everything I needed to run my online businesses, but sometimes I had doubts that and then when I had to take a decision, I was kind of guessing which was the right way to go. So I was failing more often. So what attracted me to Accelerate probably was the one-to-one coaching or the group coaching, and in terms of helping me make the right decisions. So then it turned to be way better than I even expected, because also with group coaching, when you go in this group coaching calls, you see what other members are doing, and of course you don't copy them, but no but you get ideas. And I mean, honestly, there has not been one single group coaching session that I've not been inspired by someone and like taken an idea, transform it in my own terms, and applying it, trying it. It does not always work, but trying new angles in my ads, in the promotional activity, and basically being like when you have hotspots, well, with the group coaching, with Caroline, Justin. I mean, it's a huge development journey where you've for example, you've created an ad, and then you don't know if it's good or bad. What do you do? Of course, you test it, but then maybe it's not going as you would like. You go on the group coaching session or the one-to-one session, and you show it to people, and you ask them, what do you think, guys, and also the coaches, what I'm doing wrong, what I could do better. And there's the genius Justin Wolf, for example, that tells you, okay, probably, and they explain it to you, coaches explain to you why you should try something different. So maybe you should try that. You change your ad, you go out there, it works a little bit better, but it doesn't work very as good as you want. You go back, what can I do better? Okay, this didn't work. Okay, try that. And have someone over your shoulder telling you and guiding you step by step. And that's what makes the whole difference. I mean, I'm not one of those who succeeded in the first 6 months because, I don't know, I'm not that smart, obviously, apparently. Or anyway, probably I should have worked more. I was kind of lazy as well at some points, or I didn't have time, but that's an excuse. You have to find the time. But it was this process of learning and applying those lessons and those suggestions, and go back, apply, learn, apply, learn, apply, and this definitely accelerated my success.
I think everybody learns differently, and I'm, as I said at the beginning of the call, I'm not highly educated. I didn't do very well at school because I couldn't learn the way the rest of the kids learnt, you know, the traditional sit down, listen to the teacher and do as they say. And I found that very similar with Launch You. It was do what Stuart says and it will work. It's like, no, it didn't. What have I done wrong? But having the ability to reach out and say, it's not working, why isn't it working? And then someone say, you idiot, you haven't actually done what you were told. It accelerates your journey, as they say on the tin, but B, it's just also good. It's a very long, I found it a very lonely process. You, the laptop, you know, learning, like sitting in front of a book, which I could never do. I can't read a book. And I found that laptop training experience the same as trying to read a book, even though it was interactive and it was video and a lot more interesting to me as a really bad learner. I still found it really hard not being able to say, excuse me, what do you mean by that? You know, I don't understand this bit. Can you, you know, you could always replay the video, but the ability to actually just go in and say, I don't understand. He's not talking my language here. What do you actually mean by that? And then have the light bulb come on and say, right, now I can move on to the next and the next and the next. But yeah, I mean, I always tell my students that I'm really basic. My analogy of all the different training packages here, and there are numerous ones, and even that's overwhelming, and the amount of choice of training that's here, is that, you know, when you have LaunchPad, it's like buying a Morgan race car. Get all the boxes arrive in your garage. Everything's there for you to build this race car and go out, start racing and succeeding. Yeah. But if you haven't got time, or you're not mechanically minded, or maybe the electrics, catch you out, it's like, having the ability then to say, right, I want a mechanic, you know, every week to show me what I'm doing, make sure I'm doing it okay, and being able to talk to them. And then even if that's not good enough, having the ability to say, that's it, enough. Take the boxes back, take them back to the factory, build my bloody car, race tune it. I want to go racing tomorrow. I don't want to build cars. I want to win races and earn money. And excuse me, just recovering from COVID here. But that's the analogy I like to give. Everything's there in LaunchPad, but if you really want the extra help, that I need, and not everybody does. Some people are really technical. Some people like learning that way. They don't need it. There's many people here that have succeeded at LaunchPad. But if you haven't got those skills, or you are a really bad learner like me, don't let it stop you. You know, there are paths here to help you bypass that pain. It's probably the best way of putting it. Yeah.
And I'd like to say it's not, of course, only the technical part. I was not technical at all, and it helped me a lot with technical stuff. But for example, it helped me a lot with messaging. I mean, and what I've found myself doing is even things that I've learned and I've applied once, then maybe you try something different and you forget to apply what you know already. So there's someone there telling you, hey, you did that mistake again. Okay, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's definitely what accelerates you.
Cool. Mitch, John, do you have any questions for Stathis? Because I've had lots of calls for Stathis over the 2 years. So
Yeah, there was one that it came in to me as a direct message, and I've copied and pasted it, and it looks like it's come from me, but it's come from somebody else. So it's come from Mary Lou, and she says, "What does Stathis market in his online business?"
I kind of pointed out earlier. I have three businesses at the moment. One is I'm an affiliate for LaunchU, and I'm very happy to do so because I really think that what's offered here is really valuable to others, and I like sharing it with the others. The second one is a company I created offering expert management services, which I use online marketing to find new clients. And the third one is around my passion for hiking. So I promote hiking gear, basically. And I'm trying to build a YouTube channel. I'm working on the videos right now with, and I do this with some friends of mine, which is really, really nice. That was actually my first dream, the business I dreamt about when I joined LaunchU. You know, that's what I want to do. That's how I want to live. I want to go hiking with my friends, with my family, and work like around that. So I used LaunchU. I started with LaunchU because that was kind of a training. I use this other analogy with my Italian friends when they ask me. I mean, when we talk about this, it's like when you learn how to make pizza in Italy, you know, everyone eat pizza. When you like those who learn how to make pizza, what happens after the classes? They go and they have some training in the pizzerias they were taught from. So they spend a period there learning, actually practicing making pizza, right? So that's what LaunchU how it was for me in the beginning. But now I actually love it, so I'll never stop promoting LaunchU anyways. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, and I think that's important. As Mike was pointing out earlier on, we had a guest yesterday, Mike Bramall, who has started a business with, you know, it's his passion business. He's a singer, and he's actually turned that into a full-time income, which is quite amazing. And this is something that Stuart encourages us all to do in module 2. It's to find our true path, if you like. And when you're doing something that lights you up, it's, you know, you never work another day again in your life, do you? It's I think it's important. And I think, Mitch, you're thinking about your next project, which is going to be your passion project. Is that right?
There's two coming along. I've first got to fix up the site that teaches people how to market their guest houses, because I did that really early on. It's about a year and a half old now. And I built the site, and it was called Get Seen, Get Booked. And the idea was that everybody in the world who's got accommodation can come in there and learn how to market their small hotel, guest house, cottage, whatever it was. And I made that mistake. I was trying to target everybody. anybody who did anything from renting a room in their flat to 10 room or 15 room hotel. And then I've learned from doing LaunchPad that that's actually the wrong way about it. And the new one that's coming out is actually called 5 Rooms or Less. And it's targeting people who run their own guest house. And that's making a big difference to what I plan to teach people and how I teach it. The other thing I'm building is the old one just had some links. I used Google, and you went on and you could just join. Copying Stuart, unashamedly, now you give your name and email address and you get 3 free lessons. And from a lot of stuff that I've learned on another program in the Launch system called Lifter LMS, and working with them and Martin Strong. So I've done a kind of package thing with them, and they're teaching me how to make my intro compelling. And you'll see what I mean if you look at Stuart's first training videos. He talks about his wonderful life. He talks about how to sell products. He talks on different topics. And what these guys are teaching me is it's just fantastic. So my first videos, this curious thing, the guy said, you must take your 3 best pieces of advice and give them away free in your first 3 videos. It's like such an anathema to how you normally think. But he says that's what teaches people that you've really got something to say. And the thing that I've really learned is that because it's what I actually do is run a guest house, when I'm talking to guest house owners, it's so much easier to do than, that's a funny thing to say, but then trying to talk to people who might come to LaunchPad. My targeting is so much easier because I'm targeting people who own and run a guest house. Whereas LaunchPad, you're targeting, I guess, everybody in the world who might be interested in learning online skills. It's so hard, but you take all that learning, and working with Martin Strom and the guy from Lift LMS, they show you how to convert that into your own, the word we use is passion project. That's the first one, because I can't say that running a guest house is my passion. So the end of the year, well, after the season, Vicky and I are going to get together, and we're doing a deal with one of the ladies. I always forget her name. She'll never forgive me.
Sabine van der Salm
Sabine,
or
yeah.
Genevieve
No,
Tager.
It's not Sabine, it's Genevieve. And we're going to get the package where you get certain amount of lessons, and Vicky and I are splitting it, so that Vicky will do 4 or 5 with her, and I'll do 4 or 5. And our task is help us get to one idea that we can both do together. And it's probably going to have something to do with travel. So those are my plans. Those are my plans for this year. Fix up the guest house training site.
You're using these coaches to pull out of you what your actual passions are.
Yeah.
Because guest house isn't it. You thought it was, but it's now, I'm lost. What is my passion? And you're going to get them to identify it. Yeah.
Yes, because the thing is, I don't think I ever thought guest house was my passion. It was what I could do.
Yeah.
And so you go down that road. And every time I watch a vision call or something, everyone's talking about passion and do something you love. And when you find somebody who's done it, like the Mike who was on our call yesterday, he's running choirs around his place in the UK. He's got people coming online. I don't know how much of a secret it is. He charges £20 a month to join. He's just gone over 1,100 members. You do the math. And there's this guy running these choirs. He's given up teaching. But the thing that struck me, and I met him about 3 months ago, we started chatting. He's just so happy.
Yeah.
He wakes up in the morning. What's he got to do today? He's got to run a choir practice in Bolton. So he jumps in his car and he drives off to wherever Bolton might be. It's well north of Watford. I don't know where it is. But he drives off there. He runs the choir practice. Afterwards, he's chatting to people and doing this. And they're trying to organize. He's got 13 different choirs now all around his area in the UK. And he's trying to organize an Easter show where he brings them all back. But that's beside the point. My point is, he's just as happy as Larry. He's as happy as Larry. He's running choirs full time. He doesn't teach anymore, and he's earning a lot of money. And I want that. And so that's what I'm going to be doing.
That brings us nicely back to Stathis. So Stathis, we heard what you did before, selling cookies. You sell cookies and now you plant cookies. So very similar, yeah, but slightly different.
That's a joke from Mike.
I like that one. I was quite proud of that one. But what's changed in your life? You know, I can imagine I was in the corporate world and I was screaming to get out of my corporate world. Very well paid, nice car, nice suit, wining, dining customers all around the world, jet set lifestyle, clinically depressed. Yeah. My life's changed massively. How's your life changed since you've got out of the rat race?
Well, first of all, I'm much more relaxed. I earn more money, but the most important thing, two more most important things. The one is that I'm really proud of what I'm doing. Like, that's massive difference. I mean, I've always wanted to build my own businesses. And I was trying to when working the 9 to 5, but I was thinking about more traditional business. I first thought about starting producing mozzarella, Italian cheese. Very bad idea, very short lines. Anyway, to start a traditional business, you usually need minimum, I mean, I don't know, 30,000 pounds or 50,000 pounds. Well, anyway, no, I'm talking about. So being proud, I'm actually super proud of what I'm doing. And actually, byproduct probably of this is the transformation that I've had as a person, that I see even my wife acknowledging that. I'm much more confident and happier. And this has a huge impact on our relationship as well, even though to build and to succeed with the online marketing, I had to sacrifice a lot of time with her, and because coming back from my work, from a 9 to 5 work, especially in the beginning, I had to spend hours building my projects. So, but she recognizes that this has been so good, and this has transformed me as a person. I was not a bad person before, but I'm better now. And we are happier even as a couple, because I'm fulfilled, and I was actually so fulfilled that I decided to marry her while after starting with online marketing. Why? I reflected on that. I didn't realize it at that point, but I was finally appeased, and I knew I had found what I want to do in my life, and that was super important for me, because before that I was always super anxious about what I'm gonna do in my life. I'm not sure about that, and I don't know where I want to live. Maybe I have to find a better job, I don't know, in New York or in London, and I was anxious. I have this anxiety about my future. While now I know I can run my online businesses from wherever in the world.
You found a path, and you found a path, and you found your future, and you found a direction in life at last, and one that you were happy with. Yeah.
Exactly. And there's no way back.
I met my wife online first, and then I found online business. So I didn't ask about face, but she still
works both ways.
But she also saw a massive change in me, that the stress had gone. I was a lot happier, completely changed. The money took a little longer to arrive, but when that arrived, it was even better. So yeah.
Mike's just jokes tonight. Help me. There's a gentleman called Henry Le Bon who wants to say something. What do I do to let him chat?
Well, he probably needs to. He needs to unmute himself.
I said I just take myself off mute, and here I am.
There we go.
Hi guys.
I'm technically backwards.
I'm Henry. I'm the local baker around here. I joined with Launch because of you, Mitch, because we have something very much in common. You're in the hospitality industry, when I listened to your speech on Facebook, it was on Facebook, I could relate immediately to you. I didn't have the money. I also had to borrow the money to get to it. And completely confused right from the beginning, completely confused. I got probably the same background as you, Mike. I hated school. I didn't like it. I didn't want to study. I didn't want to do anything. However, I did work myself up to the highest position that you can get in the hospitality industry. I've been the CEO. I've been the director. I'm even the president of the Bakers Association, but that still doesn't make me a good student. So listening to you, Mike, and as well as to you, Mitch, this is probably going to be a slow process, even though I'm part of Accelerate. I think I joined Accelerate at the wrong time because everybody's on leave. I can't get any appointments. So I'll have to wait till January. But listening to our Italian stallion, I look forward. I really, really look forward to that Accelerate program and actually get myself up on the road. So my question was like that, because I'm in the hospitality industry and because it's my passion, I obviously want to teach people certain things within the hospitality industry that people are struggling with, and that's purely making money in the restaurant business, in the bakery business, and that's what I'm specialized in, you know. But I also want to sell products. So I wanted to ask you guys, especially you, Mitch, and Satis, is that the way you say it? Or Statis?
Staffis.
Staffis. You mentioned, for instance, mozzarella. You want to sell mozzarella. Could I be an affiliator through you in selling your mozzarella? Could I recommend people that want to go and have a holiday in Portugal and link it through you, Mitch, and sell your guest house? Could I make money out of that? Is there a possibility like that? I don't know. Help me out.
I leave that to Mitch.
So
I can answer if you want.
No, I'll start and you pile in. I think it's a fantastic idea. The problem, the reality with the guest house is that there's hardly any money in it, because if you're spending 100 euros a night to stay here, the costs, you know, if I had my time again, I would not start a guest house.
But I'll take 50 of it. That's fine. I mean,
well, then I'm paying extra for every guest, because if I take 100 from a guest, I've got to give Booking.com 15 straight away. Then the sheets and everything is 20. I'm down to 35. There's cleaning. Then I've still got to do breakfast and dinner. And so Vicky and I worked out we make about 25 a night that we have a guest. To our as a base income, and then you've got to reduce fixed costs, which is your rates and electric and everything. So we only make money when we've had over 350 room nights in a year. It's an idiotic business plan, but we've done it this year gone by. We had 390, and next year our target is 450, because I mean, LaunchPad saved my bacon there, because we bought the guest house and we liked it because it was in the middle of nowhere. Okay, you think perfect. But if you understand Booking.com and all these things, if you go onto Booking.com, you've got to type in the name of the place you want to go. And if you've never heard of Evermont, you're not typing in. And so we really struggled with that. And it's only through doing LaunchPad that I've learned how to market our guest house beyond Booking.com and those things. So no, long answer to your short question. Yes, you can have money every time you send us a guest. You're not going to get rich on that, because I'm going to send you about €3 for every booking that you give us. The
question was, can I use other affiliates to make money from?
Yeah.
That's probably the question.
That's the second answer to my question. In about a month and a half, I will relaunch my site that trains people how to market their guest house. And absolutely, that's going to have a referral part on it. And if you send me a customer who ends up buying the course, I will pay you 150 euros commission. Absolutely, that will be done. And I'm making a note here.
That's the answer
Sorry?
to your question. Is if you sell physical products online, unless they're really expensive physical products, they're usually really low margin. And then when you get an affiliate commission, it's even less. If you can sell digital products online, which is software, training courses like Stuart does, video courses around how to run a bakery or how to run whatever business experience you have, if you learn how to build online courses and market those successfully and sell them, the profit margins are 100% virtually. You have to pay for a few tools, but it's pure profit, fully automated, so you don't need to be there and show up, or very little, unless people want one-on-one time with you, and then you can charge thousands of dollars for the privilege of them having a Zoom call with you and maybe having one-on-one coaching with you if they're really struggling with their business. So you build a low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket, extremely high ticket online business.
Sweet.
Most of it is digital products, none of it is physical, is the idea. Yeah. John?
Yeah. It's called a product suite, isn't it? That's what Stuart calls it. And the other thing that I would say, is it Henri or Henry? How do I say your name? Henri. It's very
Henri
exotic.
Lebon. Henri Lebon.
Lebon.
But
I
you can
mean,
say
French.
most of the people in Africa say Henry. If I say Henri, they all go like, what? When? Who?
Yeah, no. That
John,
French accent. Yeah, go on, Mitch. Go on.
I think you should say Mr. Le Bon until you know him a little bit better.
Oh, okay. No relation to Simon, I guess.
Don't talk about him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what I was going to say was, if you've heard this expression before, trust the process, because what is going to happen if you're only just kind of stepping into your education, this training, what will happen without a shadow of a doubt is that you're going to have so many aha, light bulb, epiphany moments. Okay. And I had sleepless nights with the magnitude of the opportunity. I think when you get towards the end of the modules and you actually get into the marketing, there's a couple of lessons there. Right at the end of module 6, you'll start looking at intent marketing and interruption marketing and some of the tools that Google give you, all right, completely free of charge. And it's just so powerful. Okay, when you understand the mechanics of how you match an offer, any offer, to exactly the right individual that will benefit from that offer. We can put people not in the crosshairs of an optical site. We can put the red dot on people now. Google knows so much about every single one of us. They know every single click that anybody has ever made. Okay. And we can tap into all of that data, that big data, with these very intuitive tools. They make it very simple. They give us tools like there's a keyword planner, for example, and we can find out immediately. So I'll give you an example. So a couple of weeks ago, I was speaking with a gardener, and he's in the north of England, and the weather's pretty grim up there in the winter, and he's got rheumatism. He's getting older. He's got rheumatism. He's suffering, right? And there comes a point where we all want to slow down a bit. He certainly does, because of his physical sort of well-being, if you like. And he's approaching his retirement, and he's not financially prepared. It's a familiar story. And he had an open enough mind to accept an invitation to jump on a Zoom call with me, but he was completely lost. And he said, "What have I got to offer? What have I got to offer anybody? I'm a humble gardener. Okay, I look after people's herbaceous borders, and I prune trees, and I cut grass, and I pull weeds up. What can I offer anybody online?" So I just asked him the question. I said, "Well, if you were going to promote anything on, what do you think it would be?" He said, "Well, I know the ins and outs of garden machinery." Okay. So we went into the keyword planner and we just put gardening tools into the keyword planner, and immediately it threw up, don't quote me because I can't remember exactly, but the top hit was lawnmowers, and there are something like 90,000 searches every month in the UK alone. And then there's this list beneath lawnmowers of petrol chainsaws and strimmers and secateurs and all these different tools. And there, there are so many different ways that you can go with this. Okay, so for example, you could write an article. If you don't want to be a face on video on YouTube, and not everybody wants to do that, okay, you can live in the shadows if you want, and you can write articles. They're called blogs, and the article could be called something along the lines of the top 5 best-selling lawnmowers in the UK 2024. Okay, and with each write-up, an AI can do a lot of our writing for us and the research. We don't even have to do the work anymore. We've got open AI. Okay, so you write this article, and it's got the write-ups on the 5 lawnmowers with an affiliate link to each one. Okay, if they happen to be Amazon affiliate links, for example, this is just one. I mean, there'll be plenty of affiliate links out there. Be assured of that. But if they happen to be Amazon affiliate links, if somebody goes to Amazon and they buy one of those lawnmowers, that individual that published the blog will also get a commission on every single other item that person buys from Amazon within a 24-hour period. Okay, this is a people, that there are countries now like Portugal and Montenegro and all around the world, Bali, that they've produced something called a nomad visa, right? Because we can work from our laptop computer, we can be anywhere, and with the power of these tools, we can tap it, we can place an offer in front of exactly the right person. And I think it took a little while for me to get it, but I think internet marketing is extremely simple. And when you get to that point, when you get past the overwhelm and the mists that there may be in front of you at the moment, when you get the clarity of what this is all about, you can promote anything you want. And this is why people do go down this passion route, or can go down this passion route in the end, because you can choose your work. So yeah, trust the process, Henri and Mr. Lebon. And I think the landscape will open up, and you will see the opportunities. And there's no shortage of products, services, digital or otherwise, that you can promote and generate an income from. Okay.
One thing I'd like to add to that, though, is even though there are lots of training paths here, and we've touched on some of them, some of the basic ones, some of the higher ones, they all lead to one lesson. Okay, we're all here not to learn how to build websites, how to build sales funnels, how to run Google or Facebook ads. You'll learn all of that if you want to. But it all boils down to learning how to do online marketing. How do you attract hundreds of thousands of people from all around the world to your website or someone else's website that you're promoting, and they be the right type of people that are likely to buy the products and services that you're promoting on those sites? You learn that one lesson, you're made for life. You can sell absolutely anything: physical, training, virtual products, software products, and people will come to you to get you to promote their stuff because you know how to do online marketing. You don't know how to build a website, you don't know how to run a sales funnel, maybe you do, maybe you don't. You know how to do the attraction bit, the getting that audience, those eyeballs on that page. That is the sharp end of your business. That's all that matters.
It's true what you say, because that's what's made the guest house site successful. Two things. It's two things. The first one is, I know a bit about what I'm talking about. So I make a video that says, you're looking to get guests who stay longer than one night, guests who come back and book again, and guests who come to you not through booking.com. And if you want that, and you want guests to also come on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and not just on the weekend, then I can show you some tips that I've picked up over time. And because I'm talking to people in the guest house business, and they know me and they know guest houses, I resonate straight away. The second thing that's so different when you're not trying to market a broad thing like the modern wealthy is I can go on to Google, and Caroline Grubb has taught me this in one of my lessons, and I can find all the websites that guest house owners go to. And I do a setting on my Google pages that I want people who've looked at these sites. And so, you know, on a modern wealthy business, I think if I get 100 people to join Stuart's sequence, and then maybe 1 in 100 of those actually becomes a modern wealthy member. That's so long. Whereas on the site for the guest house, it's more like 7 out of 10. The whole business changes when you take some you're really interested in, passionate about, or know about, and you start to take the learning and build that online. And that for me has been the biggest learning in the last 6 months with Caroline doing the additional training with her, is how much my other projects are going to be so much more fruitful than what I'm doing with LaunchPad. I think that was, I don't think that was a question. It was just me saying something excitedly.
So I'm looking at we're approaching rapidly the top of the hour. We're supposed to try and keep this call tight on an hour. Are there any questions specifically for our special guest, Stethis? I think I've seen one and I've just gone and lost it. Guys, I don't know whether you've spotted it.
I think I spotted a question for me. It was about Ignite program.
Go on.
Thing.
You want to take it?
Yep. And well, that was a very good question, because actually when I did join Ignite. Ignite is mostly for whoever is promoting LaunchU products, educational programs. And that's a very good question, because when Ignite was presented to me, I was already an Accelerate member, and it was kind of presented to me like, anyone is already an Accelerate member, you don't really need to buy that. That's even more, but I did. That's the best value for money for whoever is promoting LaunchPad. Definitely, I've learned a lot of stuff through Ignite, because I've learned, for example, the article review strategy, which I knew about, but I didn't have the chance to learn about, which was really good with Justin, and how to what John was mentioning before, writing articles, blogging, which is really, really easy nowadays. And you also learn a lot of stuff about messaging. Anyway, Ignite is for whoever is thinking about it and is interested in promoting LaunchU. It's super value for money. It's fantastic.
But Ignite's designed to promote LaunchU, to promote Modern Wealth, to promote the community and the training. It's specifically an ambassador or an affiliate focused training track. Yep.
It's half that, Mike, because I learned all the stuff for doing Google Ads by going onto Ignite and watching Justin and Stefan from January in the beginning of the year. And I use that learning to promote the guest house. It's just the topic change. If you can do that jump in your head, like if you watch Caroline's YouTube challenge, it teaches you from coming up with your target audience right through to running your ads on Google, how to run YouTube. And so I think there's more to it than just selling LaunchPad products.
Yeah.
Actually,
can I just jump in just for a second, because this is because this is really important. So Mike and Mitch and myself and even Stethis, with respect to everybody here, none of us are actually employed by the company, okay? And the company have people, they have system consultants, right? And these are the people really to talk to about the various products and packages and so forth that the company offer, because they're fully armed with all of the information. They can email you PDFs with what you get, for your money, etc. And you can have a conversation with them on Zoom rather than a phone call. You can actually jump on a Zoom call with your system consultant, and they're in place to, they're best informed to determine whether they've got something that can help you or not, right? So really, these are the people to talk to. You know, we're saying it's just for affiliate only. Well, it isn't, clearly, you know, because you've got the article strategy in there, which is just an amazing strategy. You know, it's so beautifully simple. Something I missed out earlier on. You write the article, you have the affiliate links associated to those lawnmowers, and then you can set a campaign up, which is going to put a text ad on page 1 of Google search, and you can put that advert only in front of people that are typing in lawnmowers and all the other associated searches that Google give you in the keyword planning tool. All right. So this is why we're talking about laser focus targeting. So you only and you don't pay for those ads. They're completely free of charge. They're called pay per click. So you only actually pay if somebody clicks and goes to your landing page or offer, or, you know, wherever they go, your article, wherever they go. Okay, so I would suggest that if anybody's asking about pricing of these products, or, you know, what is Ignite all about, or Accelerate, please, via the chat bubble, right, just ask to be put in touch with your system consultant and have a call with them. Okay. Go on, Stathis, you were going to talk.
No, I just, yeah, I want to correct myself. In fact, as you said, and as Mitch said, if you just, we talk on the Ignite, you talk basically a lot about the affiliate activity for launching, but exactly, if you just change the subject or the company, it's the skills that are transferable to any business.
Yeah, there's another question for you, Stathis. It's come from Mary Lou again. She's got another question for you. She says, how long did it take you? I can't find the message now, but it's something along the lines of, how long did it take you to start earning money or replace your income?
Well, I made a lot of mistakes before becoming an Accelerate member. So in the first year, I did not have any. I spent more than I was earning. I had sales with only the LaunchPad package, but I was spending more on advertising because I started doing paid advertisement. So the first year I didn't have any return on investment. So I think, and I had actually some personal problems as well I had to solve. So I didn't dedicate so much on that, building my businesses. I think couple of 2 months, maybe 3 months after starting Accelerate, I became profitable. If that's the question. So I started earning money. I made my first sale after 3 months. I joined LaunchPad, but I was not profitable. So it's. But I started making sales, but I replaced my income after 1.5 years.
Yeah. I would say it took me around about a year after actually first day of starting the study to get to the point where I could trust the income and I knew that I was free. And I had this light bulb moment, right? I was living in Italy at the time, and I'd always been making wooden furniture up until a year previously. So this was the summer following my joining in June 2020. And I just, one day I got up and I sort of wandered downstairs, and I didn't really have anything to do. And I mean, I'll go and look at the Google Ads dashboard and see how the campaigns are doing and whatnot, you know, but there was this point where I trusted the income, because before that I was, you know, is it going to be consistent? Are there still going to be sales being made? I was, I couldn't trust it. But as soon as that moment came, I thought, I'm free. I'm free. I was living in this big, it was a huge Italian farmhouse in the countryside, and I had olive trees and a vineyard and acres of land, but I was all on my own. And it was like a very fabulous prison, you know. I mean, I had friends in the village and, you know, people in my life and so forth. But I just thought, and winters were brutal. I mean, there were winters over there where we had 1.5 meters of snow up to about here, right? And I just thought, I'm free. I can just be anywhere. I can go anywhere. And I started dreaming. And I started dreaming about winters in the sun. And that's when I thought, yeah, it's got to be Spain or Portugal. But Spain's on the Mediterranean, Portugal's on the Atlantic. So you know, it's slightly different, Spain, the Spanish coast. And I've moved to a place where there are 300 days of sunshine and blue skies a year. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. So I don't know why I'm telling you this. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that this is available. I'm 65 years old, God damn it, and I know nothing, right? But this is, all I want to do is inspire and educate, boomers, and just let you know that you've got options. Just get with this skill, right? Hang on in there. Get the clarity around, how these tools work for you and how you can put messages in front of people. And you've just set yourself up.
The other
for
thing
the remainder of your days.
The other thing I'd like to add to that is it took me 30 years, probably longer than 30 years, to build up to where I was in my corporate salary, my commission, my package. It took me 6 months here, maybe 9 tops, somewhere between 6 to 9 months to match that income with the new skills that I was learning here. So 30 years of slogging my guts out, ending up losing my wife, my house, my kids, my dogs, and ending up in 150 grand's worth of debt versus 6 to 9 months of learning, putting a bit of time and effort in and getting the same results, but now having time freedom, geographical freedom, and not knowing what day of the week it is, which is I cherish not knowing what day of the week it is. My senility is my crown. Yeah.
Hey, Mitch, it took you a little bit longer. Well, no, I'm not saying it took longer time-wise, but you had to make a few ads. I mean, we don't want to kind of sort of oversell it. You've got to be realistic here. Tell us about how long did it take you to come to actually, because that was the question. How long did it take to make your first sale, and how long did it take to replace your income, let's say?
So I haven't replaced my income. I've added on top. So that's the difference between you and me. You've stopped what you were doing. I still run a guest house with Vicky. And so what I was doing with LaunchPad was adding on top. But I've got a Scottish wife and she's very strict on the numbers. So from the first day I joined LaunchPad, she kept a tally of everything I was spending on videos, cameras, Google, Gmail, and everything. And so I made my first sale, I think, came in 5 months. Let's see, June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, so just on 5 months before I did my first sale. And it took another 6 months after that before I broke even on Vicky Lapsley's scale. And that's a break even where I had paid back my extra training, Accelerate and all that. I'd paid for all the Google ads. I'd paid for the tripods, everything you can imagine under the sun. It was paid for. So it took me 6 months from when I started until I paid for absolutely everything and broke even. And then it's been profitable since then. So 6 months was my turnaround.
I've got one of my members. I'm not sure if he's on this call today. I won't mention any names for sake of privacy, but he just signed up very recently, and he's within 28 days. He had the coaching, but within 28 days he launched his first ad. Within 28 days of starting, and he's already made his first sale. So he's not profitable yet, obviously, but he's on the way. And once you're making sales, at that point, you've got data coming into the dashboards, and then we can identify what requires optimization and refinement. So yeah, he's on his journey. Yeah. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. You got a whole sales funnel, everything all set up in less than a month.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah,
And I just want to jump in to say what like these milestones do to you sometimes. When you make the first sale, for me, it was like, okay, I now know I can make more sales, right? And then when you make, for example, a high ticket sale, I don't know if everyone here knows what a high ticket, you were talking to John about it before. For example, like I now have some like sales that they bring to my account $3,000. And when you do this the first time, and you realize that I can do it again, and then just this realization makes you think like, okay, my laptop lifestyle is just right around the corner. and every milestone you get to, it opens again the map and the road to the next one and to your final goals.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it feels almost. I don't quite know how it feels when you see, those emails with the big commissions. It's like, okay, all right. Well, I mean, I think one of them came in before I was even out of bed one morning, and thought, today's a good day.
Yeah, I actually invented a new dance the first time I got that kind of sale, like going to my wife, like it's completely spontaneous. Yeah.
Good.
That's,
Okay. Well,
that's
look.
a good point to end on. Isn't it nice when you finally, because we all have the doubters, and my wife was a doubter. She was screaming at me, just go get a job, go get a job, go get. And I was determined to do this, and I was investing time and money in this. Hadn't got any results, but when I started to put numbers on the board, and she came in around the 6-month mark, 6 to 9 months, hating her job, her new job, she hated. She was in tears. And she looked at the board and she said, my God, it's working, isn't it? I said, yes. And then, can you get me out of my job? It's like, oh, really? And it was just such an amazing feeling that it's like, yeah, I felt proud. I felt very, very proud. Yeah.
Did you retire her?
No, she went back to the NHS in the end because COVID started hitting, and so she went to work for the NHS. We could never work together. That was the other realization. I'm dyslexic, so every time I wrote an email, she'd go nuts because it was just full of mistakes, and I wouldn't wait to broadcast it. I'd just say, "Yes, all right, send it," and then she'd be on the phone. What have you done? Have you read what you just sent out? So no, we were never going to work together, but it was a nice idea. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, look. I think we've come to the end. We've got another call coming up, folks. So we're going to have to jump off. Thank you very much for coming. If there are any unanswered questions in the chat, then please reach out to whoever it was that you received your invitation from to this call, whether that was Mitch or Mike or myself, and we will obviously deal with those inquiries, outside of this call. Thank you very much for being here. Yeah, wish you a healthy and peaceful and prosperous 2024, guys.
And thank you, Stathis, for your time today. It's really, really grateful for that. Thank you.
I'm going back to eating.
Have a happy new year, everyone, and stay safe.
You too.
Any final words, Mitch?
No.
Okay. We're gone. We're out of here.
Back to eating and your lovely wife, Stathis.
Okay, everybody. Catch
Bye-bye.
you later. Cheers, eh?
Stay well.